Hello everyone! I didn't mean for this video to get so long, but when I first started doing this one, I thought it would be a lot of fun to get maybe the first page of pets I have not collected that start with the letter A. This is while I was waiting for season 2 to start back in January. Then I decided, why not go for all of them? Out of the 43 pets I needed in season 1, I managed to collect 41 of them, 11 of which I bought off the auction house because I got tired of farming them. They were being overfarmed or the event was bugged. I spent a little over 1.4 million gold buying those 11 pets. I'll have timestamps and the various resources I use listed in the description, as well as any macros I use to force rares to spawn. I will apologize in advance for any mispronunciations I make. The first thing I focused on was doing the World Quest pet battles to collect as many polished pet charms as I could. I didn't have any because of the WoW celebration event, so was starting from scratch. The Abyssal Eel in Stormsong Valley sells for 75 polished pet charms. The vendor has a bunch of other things I don't have yet either, so I'll have to come back when I'm done. The Accursed Hexxer is sold by a vendor that is accessible after doing an ancient curse. I did this on Horde, but I've switched to Alliance, so in this hostile area of Nazmir, I'll quickly swoop in to buy the pet. On Alliance, the vendor is in Borealis, but is not available to me as a faction-swapped toon. Adventurous Hopling is quite annoying to get. It drops from the Snow Blossom Island expedition, which can be soloed now. The vendor in Borealis will also sell Snow Blossom salvage crates on certain weeks. After farming and checking this for a couple of weeks, I just bought it off the auction house. The Nomeranian Pet Battle Challenge needs to be completed 3 times to get the Alarmo dog. I followed the Wowhead guide for this. Even then, RNG is not kind, and I did use a lot of pet alternatives to what's posted on Wowhead. Albatross Hatchling has a chance to drop from Proudmoore Admiralty supplies in Tiragard Sound. I did world quests whenever available and was following the storyline quests for extra rep. Sometimes the mission board will have rep rewards as well. Albino Buzzard drops as a pet battle reward from Crisis Flyers in Northern Barrens. I put an alt here to try to get some XP off of it every day. It never dropped, so I bought it off the auction house. Albino Duskwatcher can be bought for 200 Seafarers, doubloons in Borealis or Dazara Lore if you're Horde. These are from Island Expeditions. To obtain Aldrusian Sproutling, I needed access to BFA Arathi Highlands, which I used to have access to, but I've lost it with a faction change. I tried to redo the campaign questline over again, but it was just taking way too long. I ended up buying it off the auction house, but it is in this general location if you can access the correct Arathi Highlands. Alliance Enthusiast can be bought in Borealis for 400 gold. I saw on Wowhead it's listed at 500 gold in Dalaran. I'm not sure at what point in the quest someone has to be for either location. Alvin the Anvil. This has got to be my favorite pet so far. The plans for these were selling for 2.4 million. They drop off of Rosor Forge Smash in the Waking Shores, who shares a rare spawn timer with several other elites. It's a very low drop rate, so I bought it off the auction house, and it follows you around. And you can actually use it as an anvil. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. I bought the Amaranthine Stinger off the auction house because the Tormentors of Torghast event was bugged for me. It drops off of Grailboy. The schedule can be checked on Wowhead. In the mall, there will be a marker for the event. Then when you arrive there, a progress bar will show up. Once it's filled up, the boss will spawn. But the progress bar hasn't been showing up, but maybe they possibly fixed it by now. Amber Glitterwing is a puzzle treasure in Ardenweald. At 36.42, 59.62, there is an aromatic flower that can be looted. This lasts for 10 minutes. Then at 41.85, 32.06, there is a tree with an incense burner in it. Really don't mess with the bouncy mushrooms. Just switch flight forms and fly to the incense. Also, make sure you can see the desiccated moth flying around. I did not and wasted my aromatic flowers. Thankfully, it spawns in other locations such as 31.77, 32.5. Burning the flowers in the incense burner, the moth comes down and is clickable. Ambystan Darter is based on a Shadowlands profession that I had no idea about until I started doing this pet hunt. There are other videos dedicated to unlocking this. I'll link the one I followed below. I got the schematic for this pet here. It gets created at the Synthesis Forge. I'll go into mats for all of these pets later in the video. Ambystan Snapper is a random pet capture in Zereth Mortis. Amethyst Softshell drops off of the Amethyst Spire Shell in Najjatar. I camped the spot between Ashen Strand and Zanjir Terrace and killed a massive amount of the Glimmer Emerald snail shell things to force this to spawn. This is one of the macros that I'll have listed. The Ammen Vale Lashling can be bought at the Argent Tournament for 40 champion seals. The animated tome, which I still have yet to collect, is off of Scrivener Lenoir in Revendreth. She will yell out some phraseology when she has spawned, then 4 crates of books have to be brought back to the Forbidden Library for her to come down. This is a very easy farm as she has a 60-minute or less spawn timer. The Aquir Tunneler is a very annoying pet to obtain. It drops off this Skixtras rare only during an Aquir invasion. Even trying to force this to spawn, there are so many other farmers that I would miss the rare to somebody else. So I got fed up and I just bought it. Aqua Strider can be camped by sitting at this rare spawn location in the Dread Waste. I think he spawns every 20 minutes or less. Aquapo drops off of Aquafawn in Zerla Caverns. I couldn't figure out what this respawn timer was, so I ended up buying it since it was just taking too long waiting for this guy. The next 14 pets are all farmed in Zereth Mortis. I drew a diagram in Procreate. Easy peasy. Each archetype pet requires a glimmer and a lattice. So I broke down their farm location with A and B. A being for the glimmer and B being for the lattice. Please reference another video that has been done in amazingly full detail compared to mine if you are confused by this. I watched someone's video to unlock the forge and Olia's cache, but then looked up each pet and where to find their components. The components that require a random drop or Olia's cache, I ended up buying off the auction house. It just takes too much time for me to hunt down rares every day, and it gets boring after doing it for a month. Archivist's Quill required Exalted with the Avowed in Revendreth. This was fun at first because I could run Halls of Atonement on normal until Honored. Then it got grueling and I made a goal of hitting about 2k rep a day. This is done by buying Sin Stones to kill Inquisitors or to save fugitive souls and kill their ads. This is the missing Arphis that will only drop during the Halloween event. I farmed this guy so much last year. I have the Argent Gruntling from when I was on Horde, but to get the Argent Squire I had to rise in the ranks of the Argent Tournament again. I went through the Aspirant quests and then the Champion quest. Eventually the quest A Champion Rises rewards the Argent Squire. I didn't record the Armored Vault bot very well because comments on Wowhead were a little confusing. They said to drag the Armored Vault bot rare to the electromagnet in Bondo's yard. Well, I assume they mean this coil, which is a Tesla coil, not a magnet. In fact, I've been using Grok a lot lately, and I'm going to submit this screenshot and ask, what is the image in this picture? A magnet or a Tesla coil? Obviously, it's not set in stone, but since the AI can search much faster than I could, and it dropped on the first attempt. Bone Sifter Marwalk in the Forbidden Reach is on a 62 minutes spawn timer. He has a small chance to drop Ashen Wing. Leaf Mender on Timeless Isles drops the Ash Leaf Sproutling. This is one of the pets I did not want to buy, even though it was relatively cheap at 16k. I needed this drop for the Going to Need a Bigger Bag achievement. Auralid Floater is one of the battle pets that can be captured in Zereth Mortis. Azareti can be bought from the present day Silithus Magni Bronzebeard for 100 polished pet charms. And a very frustrating farm for the Azure Whelpling, which is a world drop in Winter Spring. This is right when Season 2 came out, so my rarity was broken, but I was up to 20,000 kills. I bought it off the auction house when it dropped down 50k, so I got it for about 150k. I also have a bonus A pet. The Acid Drenched Rat was added to the list with Season 2 of The War Within. I happened to come across it in Undermine. The only pets I have not finished capturing are the Animated Tome and Arphis. This was a pretty fun challenge, although frustrating at times. I hope this was entertaining. Good luck and have fun!